Racing was becoming more popular than ever with over 20 national events each year. Chrysler Corporation has provided us with some archives footage. And announcer Keith Jackson starts things off with a brief look at the history of the sport.
Which traces its origin to the wastelands of Southern California. There it was nurtured carefully by tough sportsmen. This is where drag racing came from. In the 30s and into the 40s, cars raced against the clock in straightaway time trials on the dusty, windswept dry lakes and salt flats, baked by an unmerciful sun. That's where the drag action was. By 1946, Southern California Timing Association had some 25 clubs, and a major meet would draw 200 or more cars. The cars ran the gamut of creativity, with speed, the sole objective. In the middle 40s, this was the look. Flatheads, four-bangers, running with V8s and even V12s on inactive military strips. A lot of $300 mustering out checks put the hot rodders back on wheels. Then came men like Stu Hilburn, magicians with carburetors, camshafts, fuel, and the like, some real motor science. They tamed the V8s, added streamlined chassis, and proceeded to break the 150-mile-an-hour barrier. By the middle 50s, drag racing had its basic ground rules and definition. An acceleration contest over a quarter-mile distance from a standing start. A single car run or a competitive run between two cars. It took a couple of years to harness the power of this giant of an engine, but most of the pros realized then it could be the foundation power plant for years to come. As more horsepower became available, the drag tire got more attention. By 1959, Jack Chrisman really going after the speed records, 181 miles an hour. The stock cars were given their own class. Drag racing had moved to a new era. By 1963, the stock car had its place. The grandstands, a population explosion. And in the NHRA Nationals, it's a pair of super stock wedges for the championship. '64 Winternationals. Ever the innovator, Don Garlits relied on penny power to propel his winged racer to a AA fuel win. 1966, again Pomona. A tough team comes in from North Carolina. Ronnie Sox driver, Buddy Martin team manager, Jake King, master engine builder. This the meet in which Shirley Shahan becomes the first woman ever to win a major drag racing championship as she defeats Joe Smith in another heavy Plymouth and takes the super stock title. 1967, Thunder Valley, Bristol, Tennessee. National Hot Rod Association Spring Nationals. Even more professionalism obvious. The best drag equipment ever, like this sleek Plymouth with Ronnie Sox drag. In the other lane, Ron Mancini. Another record crowd to watch. And it's Ronnie Sox winning the Super Stock Eliminator title. Back to Indy again in '68 for the NHRA Nationals. First time total prize monies for a meet had gone past $150,000. And again, it's a Plymouth. In the Super Stock Finals, Harlan Banky of Akron, Ohio, against Cup Wally in his Midwest Auto Special.
As Harlan Banky, Super Stock B.
And at the top end, it's Akron Arnie for the win. After a long winter's work, the '69 national racing events begin in Pomona, California. Bigger crowds, bigger prize monies, and the most professional field of drag racers ever assembled. This describes the NHRA Winternationals, where longtime regional champion Don Garlits burst in the national prominence by defeating Jerry Harvey's Cobra Jet Mustang to pick up all the gold and with it the Super Stock Eliminator title. On to Phoenix, Beeline Dragway, the site of the American Hot Rod Association's Winternationals. It is here that Ronnie Sox is honored by AHRA President Jim Tice as the association's Driver of the Year. As if to prove that this award is in the right hands, Sox proceeds to win top stock eliminator honors in his fleet Hemi Roadrunner, storming by this Mustang with a strong pop-in charge. Completed the Plymouth sweep at Beeline as the 68 national champ four-speeds his Hemi Cuda past Ed Terry's Cobra Jet for an easy Super Stock Eliminator Championship. Further proof of Plymouth's drag strength shown at the NHRA Indy Nationals. Here, the personable team of Tritac and Morgan take their war wagon, the venerable wedge-powered Plymouth wagon that has terrorized the East Coast for years, to a decisive Stock Eliminator Championship. The red, white, and blue Cuda of Sox and Martin backs up the Super Stock Eliminator crown they won at the '69 Spring Nationals by once again defeating the strongest Super Stocks in the nation to pick up a second major Eliminator crown for the year. A figure that would grow to 3 before too long, as the popular Burlington, North Carolina duo would go on to win the NHRA World Point Finals at Dallas later in the year. In Top Fuel, Don the Snake Prudhomme was a picture of consistency. He notched his second Indy National Top Fuel Eliminator title in his Plymouth-powered Digger. He outran Kelly Brown for the big win. He would not have made it this far without a strong assist from the weatherman. A brief rain shower gave him the time necessary to replace a broken engine between rounds. 1970 has been referred to as the Super Season, as NHRA expanded its schedule of national events to 7, and AHRA instituted its 10-race Grand American Championship. The crowds were bigger than ever. The purses were too, and a new class of cars, the Pro Stocks, emerged, bringing the fans to their feet whenever they ran.
Drag racing wasn't all fun and games, though, as some of these race experts explain.
Get up at 6 o'clock in the morning, you go out to the track tomorrow, and you run all day, and then you come back tomorrow afternoon, and you work, till late tomorrow night, or maybe all night, making sure that everything's ready to go back again Saturday. And it's not just a 9-to-5 job, that's for sure.
But we enjoy it, right?
That's right.
I think it was 2 years ago that I decided I was either going to do better or quit, because the hours I put in, if I would pick another profession, I would have to make as much money, maybe more, for less hours.
You put all that you have into it, put all of your energy and all of your money and your time into it to make it, make your car run as good as what it can, to make your car look as good as what it can.
Sometimes I tend to psych myself out by worrying about the clutch and worrying about the motor, and that's what I constantly think about, just the whole machine.
Plymouth's very popular and successful rapid transit system featured the racing teams of Sox and Martin, Don Garlits, Arlen Banky, and Don Prudhomme. They brought home victory after victory, time and again.
At Indianapolis, the Pro Stock Eliminator Final saw Arlen Banky racing Sox and Martin in an all-Hemi Duster contest. Blue car got there first to claim their second straight Indy National crown and their second straight NHRA Pro Stock Eliminator Championship in NHRA competition for the year. The Snake, Don Prudhomme, one of the most intense competitors in drag racing today, picked up his third Indy National Fuel Eliminator title by defeating Jim Nickel in the final run. claimed this was the most spectacular drag race ever seen. Both drivers recorded sub 6.5-second runs. Prudhomme, 6.45, quick enough to nip Nickel at the finish line. Then, disaster. Nickel's clutch explodes, saws his car in half. The roll cage section with Jim inside tumbles into the grass. The nose section crosses Prudhomme's path. For Don, the moments after were a time for real soul searching. Was the glory worth the risks involved? Minutes later, hearing that his friend Jim Nickel was okay, these thoughts vanish, and attention turns to the winner's circle and the next race. It's the start of the 1971 racing season. The NHRA Winternationals at Pomona, California. Over $250,000 up for grabs, nearly 100,000 spectators on hand at the LA County Fairgrounds to witness this action-packed event. Oh, this is it, the modified Eliminator Final. Don Garlits' brand new Roadrunner going against national champion Carol Caudle in his FMP Chevrolet. A lot at stake, and Don knows it. In 1969, he drove his Hemi Cuda to the Superstock Eliminator title here at the Winternationals. Modified car gets the big handicap. There he goes. He's going to have to come from way behind to catch him. Can he do it? No. He broke the existing national record trying to catch the flying Caudle. Now here they come, the Pro Stock finalists. It'll be Sox and Martin's Hemi Cuda against Wally Booth's rat-motored Camaro. A big one for both drivers. Sox wants to keep his fantastic win record alive. He knows Wally Booth is eager to spoil it. There they go. Sox out the hole first. Pulling away. He does it. That makes 4 straight Pro Stock Eliminator titles for Sox and Martin Plymouth at NHRA national events. Can Leong repeat his thrilling funny car Eliminator win at last year's Winternationals? As Butch Maas legs the Pineapple Cow to low ET for funny cars of 6.93 seconds, and the crew shows their happiness. Unfortunately, the Top Fuel Eliminator crown was decided before the final race was run. What could have been an exciting race between two very different kinds of dragsters becomes a solo run for the legendary Don Garlits in his all-new rear-engine car. Kenny Safford's crew could not repair the engine damage which was suffered in his defeating of Jimmy King in the semifinals. But a pro all the way, Don Garlits receives congratulations and then thunders down the quarter mile in a smoky solo run for the Top Fuel gold.
Well, that's a look into the past at the 11th annual NHRA Winternationals. It was a period of time when drag racing was going through a transition of sorts, from backyard mechanics to high-tech drama. We'd like to thank the Chrysler Corporation for providing this historical footage.